I'm a private man. I'm a private man. I have disorders. One of the reasons I'm a private man is that I am a connoisseur of disorders. One such disorder is my proclivity for urinating. Yes, you heard that right. I urinate on average 20 times a day. On average. Wait just one moment. I'm not sure if you heard the shuffling of my clothing, but I'm sure that you could deduce what I just did based on what I said only moments ago. And that people say that I have disorders when I tell them about my life. I have many disorders. When you collect disorders, and I know people who collect different things. I collect disorders, and due to the fact that I collect disorders, I have become quite private. I also collect mosquitoes. On average, I'm bitten 1 time per minute. I need to be private because you are very judgmental when you hear that I am peeing 20 times a day and being bitten 1 time a minute. Excuse me. I just do a routine check on my body. I just swipe across the skin. It's equivalent to a wild animal like a zebra or a horse or even an elephant. You know how they have those tails. I just swallowed. So, collecting mosquitoes is apparently a disorder. I have gone through a lot of different websites to find the different kinds of disorders that one could have. Frankly, I find most of the disorders boring. You know, when you go to a pawn shop and you look around and there's all these goodies, but you don't want any of them. It's the same when I go to these websites that just give a catalog of disorders. I'm like, I don't want any of those. They don't sound fun. They don't sound interesting. I'm bored already just reading about them. So, I have decided to create disorders and collect disorders. I have realized that if you don't have a disorder that's within the official catalog of disorders, then that is a disorder to not have a disorder in the official catalog. It is. So that's kind of cool. Now that's one of those disorders that just kind of is like that source of income that earns you money while you sleep. Like that disorder, I don't even have to swipe my skin for mosquitoes or, pee. I just have that disorder in the bag that I look for disorders and create disorders that are not disorders, and that's a disorder. That's pretty awesome. Really, if you want to have your own disorder, you just have to be the first. And then you have to say, well, it's a disorder because nobody else is doing it and everybody else thinks it's kind of crazy. I'm trying to create a disorder, and it's a little bit of a challenge for me. It has to do with clouds. Today when I was walking and I saw the clouds, I was like, oh, these clouds look really good. These clouds don't look engineered. As if they're coming out of a plane or something. For some nefarious reason, they look like good clouds. And I was like, how can I collect a cloud? I can't get up there. I can't grab some and put it in a jar, right? Because I can't get up there. And even if I could get up there and I put it in a jar, it's just going to evaporate. But I want to collect them. So, what I've seen is that there's also another layer or level of disorder. And that is when you want to create a disorder and you can't. And so then you get a real kind of psychological constipation. Really. I know I just sounded like, what's his name? Jordan Peterson right there, but psychological constipation. And psychological constipation is when you cannot form a disorder when you really want to. And then there's an additional meta disorder where you're like, oh, I really like kind of like feeding off of that disorder, that inability. And it's like, oh, kind of feeding off of the energy of discontent, like an energetic parasite, But that's, again, those are kind of, if I want those disorders, I can make them up and they can earn me income while I sleep. No, I'm not paranoid. I do look around a lot. Well, when you're out and about and you're talking to a drone, it's hovering in front of you and filming, people look at you. And they wonder. Hi, hello. I am collecting disorders. Do you have any disorders? Now, I could say that, but I don't really want to say that because I don't want their disorders. I want my disorders and basically want to make my disorders up. Essentially, when you find a repertoire of disorders that are unique, you can spread them across your day as if you were there at your artist desk and you had all your paints and your brushes and your canvas. You could just spread it all out and you had your palette, all your disorders, and you learn how to create a day of disorders What I want to do is jam-pack my day with all my disorders so that I can become so obsessive that I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about anything outside of my obsessions, outside of my disorders. Now, disorders and obsessions are different. They're different. I suppose a disorder is an obsession that kind of gets in the way, throws a monkey wrench into the machinery. So that's interesting. Because if my entire day is centered around disorders, then there's really no disorder, is there? I have another disorder I just realized. It just came to me. This one's really bad. And I'm gonna have to talk to you about it because I'm really upset about it. There's one of my favorite books here. I was really looking forward to reading it. And in the corner of the book, not where the cover meets the binding at the top of the cover, the paper is starting to peel away just a little bit. Oh, I hate that. I hate it with a passion. So the disorder is my hatred for every time that happens. And I've got a library. I've got 15 to 20,000 books, and I'm telling you, all I have to do is look at any book, and if I see any defect, any aberration, any anomaly, I'm gonna feel the catastrophe. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna feel the disorder inside myself, and I'm gonna tag it with a name. Now, as a connoisseur of disorders, oh yeah, I've got to give them a really great title. It can't be something as simple and banal as book falling apart disorder. BFPD. Well, if I keep it at 4 letters, BFPD, book falling apart. But you see, the book isn't really falling apart. It's 99% intact. So part of my disorders is finding the correct. Well, it's not just finding correct. It's finding the accurate, perfect title for the disorder. You see, the potential is boundless. The possibilities, endless. You could fill your entire day with disorders. And you may ask yourself, why would I want to do that? You're doing it anyways. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. See, the difference between you and me is that I do it consciously. Yes, I consciously collect disorders. And that is my disorder. You unconsciously collect disorders. That is a disorder. Unconsciously collecting disorders and then just spreading them across your day. But you're not aware of it. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. So these people who are looking at me right now, hello, hi, oh, they think I am quite the spectacle. Boo! so easily rattled. Bo! Make an art out of it. That's what I say to people when they come up to me and they're like, what are you doing? You're so different. There's this compelling aura that surrounds you. You have this sparkling field. Yeah. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I am a conscious collector of disorders, and if I could, and maybe I will, when I figure out how to do so, I will find a way to monetize this tendency I have, where I will sell my disorders to you. I will sell them to you. I will find a way to export my disorders. It'll be like the fractional lending system of central banking. I'll have the disorder here and I'll lend it out to hundreds of thousands of people, but I'll still have it within me. And then people will pay interest on the disorder that I've lent them. Oh yeah. How do you like me now? How do you like them disorders? You will become aware of just how asleep you've been. You're gonna understand something for once. You're gonna understand it, compadre. When you borrow a disorder from me, and you have a kind of annual percentage rate on the loan, there's some interest and I'm getting rich. You're gonna understand, my man. That you have been living a lie. Now that you are consciously collecting disorders like a connoisseur, like a cigar aficionado, and you go to those lounges and you smoke and you drink that whiskey, but it's your disorder. You're gonna realize that you haven't properly savored your disorder. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Because for you, your disorders have been driving you around like you're in the back seat of a taxi. You're not at the wheel. You're not. And maybe one day you will thank me for lending you my disorders. And unlike a bank where there's only one currency in your area that you can borrow and spend, with me, every disorder is a separate currency and you can spend it throughout your day. And yes, that is exactly how you will enjoy your life. You're wondering, you're scratching your head, why would I do such a stupid thing? You are doing it anyways. You might as well pay me so I can help you get really, really good at it.